And here's the kicker. Morgan Stanley believes home prices will fall by 3% in 2024. What's going on, family? It's Sir Ashley, and today we're going to chat about something that might surprise you. It's about Morgan Stanley recently releasing a 59-page report predicting some interesting movement in the US economy, the housing market, and the bond market for 2024. Here's what they're saying. The US economy will avoid a recession, incomes will continue to rise, and mortgage rates will decrease slightly. And here's the kicker. Morgan Stanley believes home prices will fall by 3% in 2024. Now, you might be thinking, sir, how can home prices and mortgages fall at the same time? Well, let me break down their report for you. Morgan Stanley analysts believe that 3 factors will improve housing affordability. Now, housing affordability has been all the talk the last couple years because, I don't have to tell you, housing affordability has gotten to be unaffordable. On record, it is the second most unaffordable time to buy a home. So, Morgan Stanley believes these 3 factors will improve housing affordability: falling mortgage rates, rising incomes, and falling home prices. They expect all 3 of these levers to be pulled just a little in 2024, which would create a significant improvement in housing affordability. Like anything else in this world, there's a catch. Despite this prediction, Morgan Stanley does not expect any major housing corrections. Why, you might ask? Because of the strong fundamentals of existing homeowners will prevent such a drop. So you might be wondering, how would all this work? Well, as mortgage rates go down throughout the year, affordability will improve and inventory for homes for sale will increase. You see, what's keeping a lot of sellers on the sidelines right now is the fact that interest rates are so high. So they're not motivated to sell in a 7% interest rate, knowing that they have a 2, 3, or 4% interest rate on their home. To sell that to go get a 7% just doesn't make sense. But if interest rates come down, that difference may be more palatable for a lot of homeowners, and that will bring more inventory to the market. And that more inventory could balance out home prices, because right now we just don't have enough inventory to meet the demand, so you see home prices go up. In my last video, I shared with you that home prices nationally are up over 3%. Morgan Stanley expects stronger housing activity in the second half of 2024, with new home sales increasing more than existing home sales over the course of the full year. Now that makes sense. New home sales, at least in 2023, brought forth most of the inventory because a lot of the home owners were locked into low rates and they didn't bring their homes to market. And Morgan Stanley is saying that that will happen in 2024, although not as much. And while, according to Morgan Stanley, home prices might see a modest decline due to the growth in inventory, homeowners remain strong, and any correction in pricing is expected to be very minimal. In fact, Morgan Stanley gave 3 scenarios. Their base case scenario predicts a 3% decrease in the US home prices in 2024. And the reason why they only see a modest decrease of 3% is because homeowners right now, at least the ones with a conventional mortgage, 98% of them have a mortgage rate below 7%, and 93% of those have a mortgage rate less than 6%. And 74% of people that have a conventional mortgage has a mortgage rate of below 4%. So because of those strong fundamentals, they don't believe there will be a significant drop because not enough inventory will come to the market to bring prices down even further than that. But Morgan Stanley also came out with 2 different scenarios that they see could happen: the bull case and the bear case. In the bull case, they said if mortgage rates fall and consumer demand rises more than expected, we could see home prices climb. And I'm not talking about climbing 1 or 2%. They're saying home prices could climb an additional 5% in 2024 if mortgage rates come down far enough, spurring more demand, unlocking buying potential for many more Americans. So I'm a little torn. While I want everybody to be able to achieve home ownership, I understand that if mortgage rates come down, like we saw during COVID, that demand of home buyers, people that can afford a home, would flood to the market, only causing prices to shoot up again. But on the flip side, in Morgan Stanley's bear case scenario, they predict an 8% drop in home prices in 2024. This could happen if mortgage rates remain high or if we slip into a recession, causing demand to soften. You see, I believe the only reason why we did not see huge price drops throughout the country this year is because demand stayed high even with high interest rates. Now, if we go through a recession and demand softens, yes, that will bring prices down. Now, what does this mean for you? Well, it's important to keep in mind that these are just predictions. Other housing analysts, like those from Fannie Mae, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, expect modest single-digit increases in home prices in 2024. Now, I just gave you Morgan Stanley's prediction of a 3% decline, but they also see two other scenarios where home prices can go up 5% or even down as much as 8%. And remember, even if national home prices fall, real estate is hyperlocal, and many regional markets could still see positive price gains. Think about this year. This year, you see home prices in Texas taking a tumble, dropping 5, 10, even 15% in some areas. But nationally, home prices are still positive. You have to look at what's happening in your market or where you plan on buying, because that market may be different than the national market. One last thing to note is that while Morgan Stanley expects mortgage rates to drop a bit in 2024, they did not provide a concrete forecast. For up-to-date real estate news and advice, be sure to subscribe to this channel and do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and leave a comment. I'm Sir Ashley, your real estate advisor. Talk soon.